back. Canadian real estate has had quite a year, from shifting interest rates to changing buyer behavior. 2025 has been a period of recalibration across the country.
So where does that leave the homeowners and those looking to get into the market in 2026? Well, real estate expert Erica Reddy is back to break down the national picture and tell us what Canadians can expect in the year ahead. It's so good to have you back. Good, juicy conversations.
Great.
Let's dive
Thank you.
in,
Thank
Erica.
Oh, boy. I just feel like it's been like this, and it's hard to believe we're actually saying we're going to look back at real estate in 2025. So how did the real estate market fare overall this past year?
So 2025 has certainly been a year. I would say we've made it. It has been bumpy, and we've definitely had what is a reset year. So right now, the national prediction is that we will see prices close down year over year. And I mean, listen, when we're going to break it out, you'll see that we've actually got some good news and some bad news in the market. But at the end of the day, I think this really has, as you said, it's been a year of recalibration, leveling back, and really kind of resetting.
Okay, so let's talk about which regions of the country held up best in 2025 and which struggled.
For sure. So this is really interesting because I think a lot of the times people jump to our major cities, the ones that kind of have all the hustle, the bustle, and the news. Those are actually the ones that have had a tougher time. If we switch to the prairies, to Atlantic Canada, that's where we're actually seeing some meaningful gains. So looking at Nova Scotia, for example, average price, if you can believe this, in November of 2024 was $432,000.
Wow.
It's now sitting at $464,000. So it's up 4.6%. If we then flip to Toronto, obviously big city, we're actually seeing prices down. Average price in November of 2024 was $1,080,000, so a lot more than out east. And now we're sitting at $1,032,000, so down about 4.1%. So pretty much the same shift, one up, one down, east versus central.
All right, can we talk about the condo market for a second? Because I know in Toronto, the market is oversaturated with inventory, and then the sales have kind of stalled. So what's going on right now?
Figured this one was coming. So the stats on this one are pretty staggering. So the condo market, we've actually seen sales down 20%.
Wow.
Huge, huge. And prices down just over 4%. So the condo market is really having a tough go. And I think what's important, and I say this to people all the time, is you look out and remember all the cranes we used to see in the sky? They're gone. And so we are really seeing this lag in kind of pre-construction and more condo delivery, but at the same time, we have way too much inventory in the condo market. So we need to see that inventory really flush through the market, I think, before we start to see the condo market come back. And then at the time that we see it come back, we won't have the new development because that's all halted. And so that, I think, is where the perfect storm actually, results in our condo market coming back, but we've got a ways to go before that happens.
Yeah, it's just the irony, because we keep hearing about a housing crisis.
Yes.
And there's thousands of empty condo units in the city.
Totally.
Okay, let's look ahead to 2026. And hopefully, are we seeing brighter days ahead?
I think so. So I think the big thing for 2026 and looking ahead is going to be affordability. It's going to be, how do Canadians feel? I mean, we've had a bumpy year. Forget real estate for a second, just the economy, rates, what's happening to the South. We need to see everyone feel confident about that so that they can get off the sidelines and jump into the market and feel comfortable with their investment.
Okay, so what are the specific areas that you think could be standing out in 2026?
So I think if we kind of go back to the beginning of our conversation, the preview of probably looking outside of where everybody thinks, looking outside of those major cities, looking to Atlantic Canada, looking to the prairies. Even if you're looking at the major cities, looking to the outskirts of those major cities, I think that's where you're probably going to start to see more of the growth, more of people looking and trending to purchase, and we might see those bigger cities cool off a little bit more.
And are there any trends that you see shaping the real estate market in 2026?
So I think probably one of the biggest trends that people, buyers and sellers alike, should look at is inventory. This is a really important piece because it actually is the driving force of the market that we're in. So if you're a buyer and there's a tremendous amount of inventory, it probably means you can take your time, you can have more time to negotiate, you don't need to feel rushed. If you're a seller, the same would mean you probably need to be very on point with your pricing. You need to understand it could take a little bit longer, and you maybe need to be ready to reposition. So inventory, to me, no matter how you slice it, we can flip it either way, is a real driver to what to expect in 2026.
All right, so Erica, what should buyers and sellers across Canada be watching out for in 2026?
So I think the big thing to watch is probably the trends, looking for what is happening, what are the patterns, probably affordability coupled with inventory are gonna be the real two things that do drive the market, and then look to what makes sense. I mean, I always say to people, the biggest trend is look at real estate with a long-term time horizon and time trajectory, because this isn't a quick thing, and it obviously is a really big investment.
We've been talking about buyers and sellers, but let's talk about renters for a second. The situation for 2026, if you are a renter, what is that looking like?
So along the same lines, we've definitely seen a softer rental market, and we've seen prices coming off in the rental market. However, the caveat to that is we've actually seen landlords get more particular. So it's gotten more competitive, but not more competitive in the price point, more competitive in the candidate. So given the act does favor the tenants more than the landlords, a lot of the time the landlords are taking that screening process very, very seriously. So if you are looking to get into the rental market, I would say really make sure you're packaging yourself strategically, because the landlord's looking for that.
It's like applying for a job, isn't it?
It literally
Yeah,
is.
it really, really
Yeah.
is. These are great, great tips and things for us to look out for. Erica, thank you so much for this. Thank you. Thank you.